Hi everyone. In this video I want to channel some messages from Jesus. Okay. And for some reason, just to let you guys know, whenever I really make contact with Jesus, for some reason I cry. I don't know why. It just always happens because there's just this deep love. I mean, I can't even describe it. I mean, it's like no love I've ever experienced ever before in this life or even beyond this life. It's like true unconditional love. Like, I mean, it transcends or even thought of what unconditional love is. Like, it just like we can't even conceptualize in this physical body what that kind of love is. But I feel like we try, but we just still are conceptualizing of true love or unconditional love is still not that level of the love Jesus has within his heart chakra. Okay, so basically Jesus wants to let us all know that as on a collective level, collective consciousness, we've decided that we want to step into magic now. Okay. Before, when Jesus was actually in a physical form, he was meant to show us basically what we could have, the magic we could all embody. Okay. But at the time, we as a collective consciousness, we were too influenced with the desire to have this whole power game or power struggle, where it comes to people at the top and then slaves and peasants at the bottom. We basically, as a collective, decided that we wanted to basically experience separation. I mean, a hierarchy is basically separation. Okay. Corporation is basically separation. The CEOs at the top and the workers, employees at the bottom. Okay. Because during that time we were very resistant, and we still are resistant today. Um, we still have this thing about us where we are just not truly receptive to or open to the suggestions for a new way of life. Okay. But Jesus was really incarnated during that time, not necessarily for those people of the time, okay, but for us, okay. That's why I feel like Jesus, the angels really want to tell you guys who may be feeling abnormal or feeling like really weird or even maybe thought about taking your life because you feel like you're just all alone, is that think about it. You most likely are here, maybe not for the current day and age, for the people in the current day and age society, but like Jesus, you may be here to live your fullest, live truly in your heart, and be of that divine example, not for people in your day and age, but for the future. Okay, it's like for the future, like for the children, my children's children's children, or whatnot. But how can you be example for that when you're hiding? Okay, Jesus, he did not hide. That is why we know of Jesus, because he was bold and courageous, and he knew why he was here. He had no doubt in his mind why he was here, and that was to be of this divine example, to be like a heaven, to really show heaven on earth can really happen, where we can all really be magical. Magic can be. Manifestation exists. But we're very resistant, okay? Because that during that time we were building our ego up, really building it up, really building it up, strong. And I feel like Jesus knew that. He knew that coming in. Okay, it was not random that he was crucified. It was not just you just have to get crucified. No, he going into this incarnation knew he would be crucified. Okay, he knew. He knew he would. That's probably why he had so much ease about it. Going into it, because I feel like he already knew that was like the sacrifice, okay, with being himself in all his authenticity, but it's all worth it, okay? It's all worth to be in your authenticity just to have like what's going on right now, you know? It's like even though Jesus couldn't see his results, meaning, his effect on on a big scale when he was, in his physical life, he couldn't see. I mean, he could see he was affecting people, you know, showing people the magic, but he couldn't really see the results on a bigger scale. He couldn't see that him being his authentic self, being his angelic self and not hiding who he is, that that would have such a big effect that, thousands of years later, we'd still be talking about it today in 2016. Okay? He couldn't, see that in his physical vessel, like in his avatar, I like to say. But the thing is, he knew it. He had this knowing that him being in his authenticity, people might not be receptive to it at that current day and age or whatnot, and people may be rejecting it. It may reject him again and again and again, and there may be very few that actually are receptive to his teachings, while the majority are rejecting him, basically like just trying to throw stones at him and stuff, trying to get him to basically crawl into a hole and to stop doing what he's doing, which is to be his authentic self, because they didn't like how his teaching was about equality, about power for all. Okay, even in our not too recent past, on in our current day and age, we have Tesla, and he wanted basically power for everybody. Nicholas Tesla, he wanted power for everyone, and of course that sort of idea was kind of like no, like rejected. Okay, it didn't happen because we wanted still the whole, not free power. Everyone has power. We want, power is, you got to pay for power, or to keep people in this hierarchy system, to keep people thinking they're powerless or whatnot. Okay, keeping these people thinking that they're all powerful, and then these people at the bottom thinking that they have no power. Okay, but Tesla wanted to break that. He wanted to be the bridge, which is by creating power for all, where everybody has access to power. I mean, have you noticed? Me and my mom were just talking about this, but Wi-Fi on the iPhone, it didn't used to cost money, but now it costs money. Okay, for like I think it was iPhone 4 or 5, we didn't have to pay for Wi-Fi, but now it's like we have to pay like money for Wi-Fi on our iPhone 6 or whatnot, and it's because of this whole, it's kind of like again, there's a system that's still trying to keep us in this whole thing where power is not for all. Okay, power is access to power is limited. Okay, it's not for all people. It's like you have to pay for power. Okay, it's like you have to pay an arm and a leg to feel powerful, to be powerful, and that sort of that idea that's put out there keeps us in this hierarchy thing. Okay, where people at the top have all power, they can do whatever they want, while the people at the bottom, they have to struggle just to feel powerful. Okay, so basically, with this channel message when it comes to Jesus, is that right now, as a collective consciousness, even though there's still systems being put out there that is really, again, encouraging this whole hierarchy thing, as a collective consciousness, as a big whole, we are really wanting to step into magic, okay, like wizardry, kind of like Harry Potter, where everybody has the chance to step into their power. There's nothing that can hold somebody back from stepping into their power. There's no limitations, okay? And even though there's systems out there that really give us the illusion that we are limited in how powerful we can be, we as a whole are really wanting to step into our wizardry, step into our magic. And that's, why I feel a lot of creativity even in films, like the J.K. Rowling is with Harry Potter series is meant to show us. You look at Harry Potter, that franchise, and you see that there's power. These students, they all have equal access to being a powerful wizard. Okay, there's not so and so is has power to be the wizard, good wizard, and so and doesn't have equal rights or equal opportunity to be a powerful wizard. It's like they're all had the chance to be this powerful wizard. I feel like that's what we're stepping into. So that's why it's absolutely important for you individuals who are watching this video to really step into your authenticity and to express your ideas, express your creativity. Okay, do no more hiding, because hiding, that will not be remembered. Okay, if Jesus decided to hide, we would not remember him today, and his effects was meant to be have an effect on us today in this current age, like 2016, and in prior to that as well, and whatnot. And his effects was not necessarily meant to be for that current day and age. So if you're focused so much on being recognized and understood and right now, then that can trip you up. That can really make you feel like you are alone, that you're a weirdo, that you don't belong, and that can lead, even to suicidal thoughts, for especially for young people who are really creative thinkers that are in their teens, that really feel like they don't belong because they're not fitting in with school. It's important to remember that your ideas are not necessarily for the people of today, but for the people of tomorrow. Okay? And that when you keep that in mind, when you really heart centered in that, and you really know that you're being your authentic self is going to change the world, maybe not change the people's perceptions today, but the tomorrow people, then you can have this ease, this peace, knowing that even when you die, when you ascend beyond this planet, where of old age or whatnot, you have this knowing that you being your authentic self and you putting out your creative ideas, even though you may not see the results, even on your deathbed when you're old, the results of what your ideas have done to the planet, but you may, just realize that 200 years after your physical death, when you incarnate again, or you're living, 200 years later, and you have this epiphany of revelation when you see something in that day and age, 200 years after your physical death, and you realize, oh my gosh, my soul led to this. When my soul was in physical form in the 2000s or whatnot, um, when I did this and I put this idea out there and I put this invention or this theory or this philosophy out there, it actually led to this. Well, the life that I'm living now, 200 years after my physical death or whatnot, of in that, it's like really hard to explain this time thing. But I hope you guys are understanding where I'm going with this. Because think about time. I always talk about metaphysics. Time is it's very interesting because I feel like Jesus, he's really going to return, but not just the whole religious thing tied to it. That the religious. I feel like that's really going to return to us right now, and we're really going to be like, okay, I'm ready to step into my Jesus Christ. I'm ready to step into my magic. I'm ready to step into my power. So you really think about it, and I feel like he was more for the current day and age of us, more so than that current day and age that he was incarnated in. So with that in mind, when they say really be like Jesus, I feel like really be authentic, really be bold, be courageous, and put yourself out there in an authentic way. No hiding, okay? Because if you hide, that's not going to affect anybody. No one's no one's going to be able to, you know, be able to take your wonderful ideas and make something out of it. People might not make something out of your ideas today or tomorrow or your whole life, but they actually may, in the future, like 100 or 200 years from now. That's why it's important you to express your ideas, no matter how big or bold or ambitious they are, or how far out there they seem, or how impractical or unrealistic they seem, because they might not be for people today. It's going to be for people for the tomorrow people. It's like when I express my ideas, I feel like I'm mapping out. I'm mapping out. I'm sharing my ideas is mapping out the future. Okay, the future of this world. Because I feel when I share my authentic stuff and my ideas, this can really, one day, in the future, they may be able to be like, oh my gosh, we finally get that idea. Okay, let's materialize that. They might not be able to materialize my ideas right now or be able to truly conceptualize it, but continue to express it boldly and confidently. One day there just might be this epiphany on a like a collective level or a social level or in a society level where they just all of a sudden they understand it. Just like with any sort of major, even like with Nicholas Tesla, a lot of people at his current age didn't understand what he was trying to do, what if that was even possible, all his little inventions. But today we know that his inventions were brilliant. But at the time and age, we knew they were very creative, but we didn't really know if they were really realistic or practical, okay, ideas or inventions. But now we know that, whoa, those are brilliant ideas. But it took us time to grow in that idea, to really contemplate that idea, to really understand it. People are not going to understand your idea instantly. They're going to need to grow and be able to contemplate your idea, and that takes time, like earth time, okay? So when they actually fully can comprehend or conceptualize your idea, it may be 200 years after your death. Who knows? Or it could be actually a week from now. Who knows? But it's not important for you to be understood. It's not important for you to get people to understand your point of view and to understand your ideas. It's for you to just put it out there, to just dream as big as possible, because you're doing it for the future of tomorrow, not for the people today. If the people today, if they're people who can conceptualize and understand it, that's great. But if the majority doesn't, that should not stop you. Okay? If that stops you, then you really need to connect within yourself, and you really need to pull your willpower out of you, to get you motivated, to get you driven, and to get you on your calling, which everyone's calling, I will tell you at this current age day, is to express your ideas through whatever form. And creativity is basically the form, okay? And creativity is so broad. You're meant to share yourself in an authentic, bold way, not to hide. No more hiding. We've gone through the hiding for centuries when it comes to hiding, always hiding, okay? Because we fear society, been in fear for a long time. No more of this hiding, okay? Because the world as a collective is ready, okay? Is ready for this change of events where we all step into our power. We all be powerful in equal power, okay? No hierarchy. So I feel like that's really the message that Jesus really has to say, I guess, right now, when it comes to the current energy that's really going on right now, okay? You just have to be really authentic and realize that you're doing it for the tomorrow people, okay? And if people don't understand you right now, if people understand you, that's great, good. That means people are really receptive and really have open mind. But if people are majority or not, don't let that discourage you. You just gotta realize that one day they'll contemplate your idea enough where eventually they'll come to epiphany, just like we've come to epiphany about Nicholas Tesla and his inventions, and realize that his inventions are actually gold mines. But it took us how many years to actually come to that conclusion that his inventions are a gold mine? You know, I feel like we did know it at the time, but still we just, no, there was a lot of greed involved, and, you know, a lot of taking advantage, I guess, of Nicholas Tesla. I feel like that was going on, taking advantage of him and his inventions, and his creativity for competition purposes, to continue the whole, you know, if we are ahead of the people, then we can continue to be all powerful and then keep the people down here and whatnot. Nicholas Tesla was not like that. He wanted equal for everyone, equal power. He wasn't creating power so, for example, the US could be more powerful than China or something like that. No, it's just to share his ideas. But there was a lot of manipulation going on and stuff like that, and greed and stuff. Competition and hierarchy and sort of like corporate stuff going on during that time. But overall, I feel like the majority didn't understand his ideas, okay? The majority, I feel like there was, people took a chance when they supported his ideas. They took a chance. It's almost like taking a risk, okay? And that's what a lot of people doing, for example, when people are, you know, watching my videos, they're taking a chance by, you know, listening to my creativity, by listening to my ideas. Okay, they're taking a chance because what I speak about doesn't necessarily follow the traditional path of, you know, ideas or creative thinking. But people take a chance, and taking a chance and taking a risk is what leads to greater expansion of the mind. Okay, and that's why I feel like people watch my videos, or just, you know, watch other people's YouTube videos on metaphysics and spirituality, because they're trying to expand their mind. They have an openness that they want to expand their mind. That's why they're taking a risk or taking a chance on information that they might not be able to understand or conceptualize, but they're hoping that one day they will be able to have the epiphany through contemplation and time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.